You are listening to Food for Worms, the original True Grime podcast.
Food for worms.
Food for worms. Food for worms.
Sam,
What's up, D?
who was your first kiss?
My first kiss, I don't even remember who my first kiss was. I really have to think about this. I feel like it was like 4th or 5th grade. A gal I went to grade school with named Beth, and she was like the one that was like aware of the fact that eventually we are going to kiss each other. So she would like go around and like try to kiss the boys, and the boys are like, it's like before, the boys were like into that, this is pre-middle school. But she would like go around and like chase boys down. And I think that was probably like my first kiss. And sorry to put you out there like that, Beth, but I mean, it was totally innocent and fine. I mean, she was the one that was like just aware of that being a thing in the future. Do you have any hobbies that I don't know about? Like, are you like a underwater basket weaver? Have you ever heard of that?
No, is that a real thing?
I have no idea. Because you remember I went to kindergarten through 8th grade. I went to Catholic school, and one of the nuns at Sister Claire at my middle school, she would say that for some reason, like
underwater,
whatever you guys want to do, underwater basket weaving. And we're just like, is that really a thing? She also said she would give us a lecture, and then she'd be like, now put that in your pipe and smoke it. And then she'd turn around and just like write something on the board, or just walk out of the classroom. And we're like, okay, we'll read The Hobbit then.
It sounds like the teacher woke up every day and chose chaos, which I appreciate, because I like doing that. He's walking up, just saying some shit and just walking away, throw people off and everything. Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite pastimes. Okay, if I'm gonna have any hobbies you're not aware of, it is sowing like diet chaos wherever I can.
Sowing? Diet chaos?
Yeah, sowing diet chaos. And
by sowing, do you mean like seeds of it?
Yes.
Not with like needle and thread.
Yeah, like
good. I'm glad I picked up on that.
Thank you. Me too. No, it's like and it's not a real answer. But no, just sometimes just like your teacher did, just walk up, say some shit that completely confounds people, and then just being like, "Did that just happen? And was that a real person that just spoke to us? Because there's no way that sentence could come out of a real adult man."
And when you do that, is that like a premeditated thing? Like, are you when you're saying something that could maybe throw somebody off? Is that like something that you have in your back pocket and you're waiting to say it to the right person, or is it just on the fly that it happens, or do you just keep those in the chamber?
Short answer, yes. And then, long answer, it is a nervous. So it's part of nervous energy, because if I throw somebody else off for a second, it helps me kind of, and it certainly isn't to like assert dominance or make people like it's to throw them off, but not in a way that's to make them uneven. It's supposed to be like kind of like it's my version of an icebreaker,
right?
For them to be like. But then I will also turn around and it'll be like a super serious conversation. Like all of a sudden it's like, I said it did something that was completely ridiculous and nonsensical, but the very next second I'm giving you the most logical answer you could possibly think of for whatever the situation is.
Well, it was like starting their expectations low. Like because I'm definitely like I would get in someone's face and say some like weird ass shit, and then they're like, what? And then you get into like a legitimate conversation, and they're like, oh, okay, this is semi-normal now, but it was weird to start off, so it only gets better from the fucking weird, beginning.
When we're underground, there's only one way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'd say it's that, and it's also just. It's that. It's what you said. It's that. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. What was your first fight?
My first fight that I can remember was there's this kid named Michael that I went to grade school with, and we were like off and on, like we would get along, and like pick each other for, you know, kickball or dodgeball or whatever. And then like the next day it's like, we want to fucking tear each other apart.
Mhm.
But I think it was like, remember like King of the Hill?
Yeah.
And I think like one year the fucking janitor or maintenance guy or whoever plowed the snow, plowed it so that the pile was around a tree. So there's a tree right in the center of this pile of snow.
Nice.
So like we're fucking like climbing the tree and jumping down onto other kids.
Oh,
like
no.
we're playing King of the fucking Hill on this huge thing. And I think
no, when you said King of the Hill, I was thinking for one second, like when are you gonna make the Hank Hill joke and you weren't at all? Please continue your story. I'm so sorry.
No. Yeah, I mean there was you know, the one where you push people down to the bottom. Yeah.
I get it now.
Oh, okay. But I think I don't know who started it off, but I remember like us like legit rolling around in the snow and like pulling each other's hair and like smacking each other in the face because one of us like went too far in King of the Hill. And that was like, and we did the same fucking thing in gym. Like probably one of us hit the other person in dodgeball like the wrong way or something. It was always like setting the other person off. There's this other fucking kid named Drew. Speaking of, I don't know why I keep going back to like grade school and shit. This fucker named Drew, he fucking teed up a football and punted it straight into my face when I was playing Pokemon on the Game Boy, and I was like sitting up against the fence, and he punted it into my face from like 7 feet away. And then I met him at the I met him again like 20 years later at the bar, like around the time when I was like 21. And I was like good friends with his buddy who he's known since like middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm like talking to his buddy and I'm like, he's a douche, right? And his buddy's like, yeah, he's always been a fucking asshole. And he's just like, Sam, I'm so sorry to anything I ever did. And I'm like, it's totally fine, dude. I mean, you were a douche. You are a douche. Yeah. Now. Yeah. But, so, I mean, that was a weird other thing from my grade. Kids were fucking mean. So another kid, Marcus, fucking choked my ass outside of the fucking principal's office.
So you got punked out. You got punked out a lot, didn't you?
Well, I was the loudmouth, fucking annoying, sure. Super fucking ADHD, high energy kid, and I think that I just bugged people. I was also extremely sensitive, so they knew they could make me cry easily. Like I was the kid that like you didn't hit me hard, or like if you hit me and I start crying, it probably wasn't because you hit me. It was because like now I'm embarrassed or like everybody's looking at me or, you know, that type of thing.
Twice the pride, like harder the fall. Type
exactly. Okay. And, but this kid fucking, I walk out of like the first little like health class that you have is like a little kid where you're asking, you know, the health teacher, like, why do men have nipples and shit? That was one of the questions that I remember from this fucking, but I walk out of there.
Why indeed? Keep going.
You can milk anything with nipples. But I'm walking from that health class to go to the music class, and this kid's just walking down the hallway. He was a grade above me, and he just chokes my fucking ass outside of the principal's office.
Jesus.
No reason. And
did any teacher stop this from happening?
Eventually I think the principal came out of her office. He got suspended. Yeah. And but she was just at first, like, I was always the kid. I feel like that the teacher was like, what'd you do? Like, what did I do to start this shit? Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. And I was like borderline, like ready to pass out, but they're like, what's going on here? I'm fucking laying on the floor, lady. Like,
I could be dead. There's a lawsuit happening right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why men have nipples. You know,
shit. Questions that I wish that I knew. Damn it.
What was your favorite? Like class when you were like grade school through high school? Like, what did you identify with or relate to and enjoy the most?
It technically was a class, but it was more of a elective thing. It was definitely yearbook, because yearbook was one of those. Shout out to Mary Barron-Trout. She just retired. I think she was like 26 or between like 26 and 30 years as a fucking fantastic language arts teacher.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she fucking retired this year. That woman taught me so much, but she also helped me like realize the whole saying like the glass is half full.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole thing is like, is it half full? Is it half empty? No.
optimist and pessimist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she helped me realize what the fuck that meant because it hit me like one day, but it was like years later. I was like, oh, Mary, god damn it. um, I would say your yearbook because that one was a culmination of all the media classes thrown into one, but it was like that one big fatty project that was like.
So you're doing like
school.
photography, writing,
yeah, all the shit that
all
comes
that
with
type
it.
of shit.
And
Yeah.
I started out both as a yearbook, like basically like a news person. Like we would like you're in charge of going to this thing and going to this thing. Did that with my homie Mackenzie and Amara, and then my
was it all
my
girls?
ex-girlfriend. No, it was dudes there too, but
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of girls. I did that, and then the very next year I was made an editor. But here's a really funny thing: they would try to like roll up on people's houses at like 5 a.m, get them out of bed, and take them out to breakfast. Like you're an editor, no. They did not try that shit with me. I just showed up in the morning like, hey, we couldn't get a hold of your mom, so you're an editor. And I was like, good, because if you motherfuckers roll up my house at 5 a.m. You wouldn't necessarily get shot, but someone's getting
Who the
stabbed.
fuck are you? Like, why are you at my door?
Listen, if you come to my fucking door at 5 a.m. in high school,
well, like Sam. Like I know your mom and I know your family. If I showed up there like at 5 a.m., my ass is on the line. You know what I mean? Like, and even if we know y'all,
it was the not the best, but it was fun. Like funny having white friends that came from neighborhoods where motherfuckers didn't lock their doors and shit. Where we locked their doors, and then the few times it didn't, a few of you just walked into my house, and I was just like, "Can I fucking help you?" You're like,
I've never been one to walk straight in. I'm one to call.
No, you call, and I was expecting you, but if you show up at somebody's house, you knock on the fucking door and you get let inside. Some of you really comfortable motherfuckers would just show up and just walk in. Cody did that shit. David did that shit. I'm just kind of like, do you two have a fucking death wish?
Well, you've known both of them longer than me.
Yeah, but that's still not okay. They fucking knew better. That's why like you would tell them you correct the behavior, and then they fucking do it anyway. I was like, this isn't the fucking suburbs. This is East Side Minneapolis. It's still residential. It's not that bad, but don't walk into my fucking house like that.
Right.
Long answer.
Sure. Well, I think my mom's like I never really brought kids to my like no kids really ever came over to my dad's house much. Yeah. Like one of my friends, Eric Dwyer, got woken up by my dad in the morning, and my dad was like, why are you in my house? And
whoa,
and like this is like Eric waking up in the morning to go get breakfast, and my dad's asking him
in my house
exactly. And Eric still like remembers this, and his like I think he brought it up to me at my wedding, being like, "That's your dad that asked me why I was in his house." That was the one time Eric ever came over.
That's really funny. And
like my dad would always pull like he'd just ask some weird ass question that it's like, dude, you don't know my friends well enough yet to like be that weird, because they're not going to want to come around again. You know what I'm saying? But like, I
think that's really funny. Like,
but yeah, I mean, but my mom's house was more so the one that like kids would, I don't think they would walk in, but like definitely everyone felt more comfortable to come into my mom's, you know?
Yeah, no, we don't play like that. What are you looking forward to about getting old?
About getting old?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I think because like right now, you know, you and I are both in our 30s, and everything is so fast, and just like it's going so quick, like all the time with my kiddo. You know, everything that we do enjoy, and I do enjoy it, but it seems like it just goes by so quick, like the day to day, and like the small things, like fucking listening to birds chirp is beautiful, but I don't sit and just do that all the time. You know,
like the animal. Sorry.
Oh yeah, not your boss.
I don't know. Again, this is a situation where you said something that is a completely normal thing to say, and my man was like, "Why are you talking about this grown ass man making noises? That's weird." Right. And then sorry.
Well, and I think that's like a big reason why I've gotten into gardening so much is because it's helped my brain just be like, hey, this is your time to just like chill and enjoy the small things, like you know how,
and you get to watch something grow.
Exactly, and I think time. And I don't know, because I'm not that old, but I'm looking forward to, I think time slows down and you can enjoy some of the small things if you have that outlook. Because if you're some old cranky motherfucker and you're just not happy about anything, like I'm definitely not going to be the dude that's like, get the fuck off my lawn. I made my lawn like this. But I am going to tell some kids like, yo, don't let your dog piss on my flowers. Yeah. You know, like there is a line there of like, I'm going to enjoy everyone walking through my on the
shit.
sidewalk, seeing my yard, whatever, like that. But I'm not
going
gonna scream at some kids unless they're having their dog shit all over.
for sure. Yeah, at that point, like I feel like, and I feel like we're a little more grounded, and we have. Okay, not to say that our predecessors, our elders, aren't grounded, but
right.
I feel like we're in a more empathetic and accepting generation.
Yeah.
And we've seen how it was done beforehand. So I feel like when we are older, and if we are all lucky enough to have lawns, I feel like some of us are going to be like, "Hey kids, come here. All right, what up? How you doing? I see y'all playing. I'm not trying to get away with that. If the ball comes over here, feel free to come and get it. But don't you ever fucking come stomping through my goddamn flowers again. If you walk through, don't just run through. Just take a stop, walk up to the line, step over the fence, go grab your shit, and walk out. If I ever see you just fucking bounding into my shit with reckless abandon, no. By this time, my hand is on their shoulder.
Yeah, it is.
And I am 2 inches from their face. There will be issues, child. Have a good day, and I'll be like, take care, dude.
And you are the intimidating motherfucker that like borderline is whispering to the kid, but he's like ready to crap himself. Like he's just like, what is this guy with his hand on my shoulder going to do right now?
I wouldn't be that weird, but I don't know. I feel like I would be. I'm looking forward to being older and just seeing how vibrant and colorful we're all gonna be. Like I know, like people are like worried about like, what you worry what your tattoos gonna look like when you're older. I'm like, I hope that I'm covered fucking nose to fucking toe with tattoos when I'm older,
right?
With whatever the fuck's going on with my hair. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have all this luxurious hair when I'm old as shit, but we'll see what happens. But I plan on being fucking heavily fucking tattooed by then.
Hell yeah!
I think we're gonna be a very vibrant and accepting and super cool pot smoking old folks.
Hell yeah,
because
I mean, our parents' generation, like talking about tattoos, like my dad's never been a fan of mine. My mom loves it because I think it's, I think she, she's always just been like, express yourself, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. She's a little more realistic. But my dad's generation, he's like 10 years older than her, so he's from the fucking 40s. It was like if you had a tattoo, you were from probably like the Navy or the Army, or you were like not a good human or something. Like that's what they assumed, or you were a criminal, or like that's what they associated
it with. I am not a criminal. I work at Ragstock. Leave me alone.
Right. That's what it is now. And then or like they just assume you work at like Ragstock, or you're a barista.
So I work for the U.S. Postal Service. Go fuck
yourself. Yeah. Well, and I had off a couple weeks ago just to like work in my garden. I hope everyone's not super bored of listening to me talk about my garden. But not everybody knows my name because I'm still semi new on my mail route. But everybody was just like, I love our new tattooed guy. He's great. And I was like, well, cool. I'm glad I'm not like upsetting the old ladies for like looking, because I like to think I look pretty damn fly as a mail carrier. But like people have been like, I've never seen a mail carrier look like you. And I'm like, is that a good or a bad thing?
You wear a red scarf, you wear the hat, the fucking shirt, and your little short shorts with your fucking boots. You probably just look rad as shit. Like, I don't know. I feel like up until maybe the last 10 years, and don't quote me on any of this shit, I feel like maybe the U.S. Postal Service, they've always looked kind of square. Maybe,
yeah, definitely. It's like the younger generation. It's I think it's become more of like it's very diverse.
Yes.
Like we have so many different people of different nationalities, different sexualities, different like bunch of motherfuckers tattooed. There's one dude like you were saying, nose to toe.
Yeah.
Like he's got one calf that he has to cover, and he's like, yeah, then I'm done. And I'm like, I doubt it. Cause you still at the top of your head, you'll fucking shave that shit. His name's Luke. Holler at you, dude.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I do like that part of it. Cause when I went in for my interview, I remember, they always ask you like, there's something that maybe an old employer had a problem with you, or like, what's a downside of you? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe some people don't like the way I look. I've got big holes in my ears. I have tattoos everywhere. And at the time I had fucking long ass hair and a big beard. So it's like looking like Charles Manson or some shit.
Yeah. Holy shit. All right. Cool. So, my next question is this.
Yeah.
You just answered yours.
Yeah. And so, I just fucking rambled.
You rambled. You answered the question. So I was like, what historical figure do you think you look like?
Charles Manson.
Between Charles Manson and Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, like it's one of those two.
Yeah, because if I have a beard whatsoever and my hair grows out a little bit, it's like once I'm at that point, I know that I have to get a haircut ASAP because I'm looking too much like Charles Manson, like 1980s to like when he died, because it was just not a good time, because like he wasn't horrible looking when he was young, but everybody told me in middle school, and Brooke still tells me, like sometimes I'll make like a mannerism. Ashton Kutcher, I got like all through middle school and high school. Bit. Like when I have a shaved face, I'm not as like tall and slender as he is, and I'm definitely not as good looking as he is. But
that's false.
But I always took that as a compliment, because I think like Ashton Kutcher, he was like that. He was like that. I don't know what you would call it. He was the unexpected like boss, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, they were like, "Oh, he's the dude from Dude, Where's My Car?" Like that's what he was when we were younger. Now he's like a multi-millionaire investor and super intelligent, and I just think he like kind of surprised everybody a little bit. I
think he stayed curious, and I think he put some money where people needed it, and he's made some money to do it. But I don't know. I feel like he's trying to be a futurist, and from not futurist in the way that he's forward thinking in the way that in the new ways that commerce is happening, and the way people can actually like better themselves in the world that they live in, which has been really cool to see. One of the things that I like about Ashton Kutcher, and what I also like about you, is that you both ask questions, and then you also want to be educated in a way with you'll go up to anybody about anything that they like, an expert in something in the way. And I've seen you do this, but not specifically like this, but like he'll walk up to like fucking stockbrokers and fucking Palo Alto fucking billionaire tech giant people and be like, hey, explain to me what you do, but like a fucking high schooler.
Like I'm dumber than you. Like I'm not completely dumb, but talk to me because I don't know everything you do.
It's not about being dumb. It's about just like explain to me, and like I'm like in a high school. You need to explain to on the base level so I can get up to where you are, because he can think. People can think about many things,
right?
The way that fucking the billionaire ultra geniuses do, but they just need to break it down for me in the most simple way,
right?
So they can actually wrap their heads around it. So. And I don't know. I don't hope that wasn't a diss. That wasn't a diss to you, but just
no.
I guess I'm saying you're curious.
Exactly. Like it's I am always because I think some people are more afraid to ask questions because like
looking stupid.
Well, right, and like unknowing, you're afraid of like not looking or seeming knowledgeable or something. And like I'll admit when I don't know about something. And I do know a lot about some things, but there's a hell of a lot I don't know. Like quiz,
admit that is important.
Like quiz me on some fucking geography. I'm getting better, but like social studies and geography, I always fucking hated that shit. I've learned where the states are now though, so I have that going for me. Who would your celebrity like look-alike be? Is that what your question was? Who my celebrity or like famous look-alike is?
Like?
Yeah.
Who do you think I look like without being racist?
Well, it's gonna be a black guy. Like, what do you mean without being racist?
I'm fucking with you. Who do you think?
What the fuck is the guy's name? I think he's from the show Blackish.
There we go.
What?
Anthony Anderson?
Yes.
Anthony Anderson?
Yeah, I think you do. You guys have you both have the like when you laugh, like you guys, you're very expressive and you have a big smile and you both have like a big jolly face. So I don't know. I think you and him look similar. So
thanks, bud. I like that I asked that question.
What is that bad?
It's fine.
Anthony, you look great when you laugh.
Anderson is a very handsome person. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's all good. We're gonna take a quick break, everybody. I need to go look in the mirror for a few minutes. Food Performance Podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sam, you've been to therapy, right?
Yeah, it always helps my brain and my heart to get the weird, sad, scary stuff off my chest.
Yeah, man, the case of the sads comes at you fast, but yeah, without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace in this day and age is just hard. It truly is.
Well, and I mean, who wants to go to an office where you have to be by like a real life human?
Absolutely not. No, not in this meat body, sir. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, and then like the recycled air, just that you both have to breathe in each other's faces
to validate your parking and talk to Janice outside. No, thank you. To avoid that nightmare fuel, BetterHelp is a customized online therapy that offers video, phone, or live chat sessions with a licensed therapist. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy and can start communicating with the therapist in under 48 hours. That's nice, right?
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
rad.
This
Super rad.
podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Food for Worms listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/foodforworms.
Goddamn right.
That's betterhelp.com/foodforworms.
Do it.
Back in black, I hit the sack.
Jesus
I bet you
Christ.
know I'm back to be black because
Okay.
I let loose
There it
from the
is.
noose.
Okay.
Doobie scooby.
All right, Sam, relax.
Okay.
What's your favorite song lyric you can think off the top of your head?
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
You're so full of shit. All right, well, that's great. All right, tight. Thank you. Mine is from Conway the Machine, and the lyric is, "I don't give a fuck what a fuck nigga said if that shit ain't said to me." Give a fuck about your opinion if you ain't got as much bread as me. I ain't fucking with that hoe no more. That pussy is dead to me.
Oh, God damn.
Only been here for maybe 5 years. I was talking about the legacy. I was like, oh my God, no, that is such a fucking mood. It's from the song KD. If you get a chance, let's do it. If you ever want to feel dangerous for 3 minutes and 58 seconds, listen to Conway the Machine. It'll play.
Do you have any songs that like you know how there's like a random beginning like to it that it's just like a random little snippet and it's like, why did you put that there? But you remember that song because of that weird intro or something?
Yeah, I would say it's going back to fucking Blood Smoke Body.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a song, but this is back when they were Nazim and Spencer Jones.
Okay.
They had this song which I'm gonna look up real quick where they have like these little skits on the beginning of them. Like, I'm not gonna get into. All I'll say is this, okay? Sometimes those skits they last just a little bit too long, and then the fucking song starts. I'm kind of like, the song fucking bangs. Holy fucking shit!
It was worth the wait.
It's worth the fucking wait every fucking time. They are fantastic musicians. But yeah, there's one song. Holy Goat. Yeah, they have their first album. They were Nazim Spencer Jones. They have an album called Years of Obscurity, and it's a picture of a bunch of Bible pages with weed broken up on top of it, with Roman numerals, with Marlboros and raw wraps and fucking $100 bill and a bunch of shit on it.
Mine is definitely not as cool as that. The one that made me think of that. So
they have a song called Holy Goat, and it's like sounds like this shit.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 12 years since my last confession.
And they get all into this shit. I was like, oh, first of all, I was like,
I'm getting into it. I like that.
Tight.
But despite the you want guarantees. Call it what you like. But why does God hide in a cloud of half promises and unseen miracles? What would happen to us who want to believe but cannot? I want God to show his hands.
And they fucking get to it. Anyway, these dudes are the shit, and it's incredibly unprofessional that we're playing it from my phone into the microphone, but it's tight. Yeah, that song's called Holy Goat by Nazim Spencer Jones, but they now go by Blood Smoke Body. I know I keep talking about them, but they are the fucking truth. Their first Blood Smoke Body album is an entirely fucking is a huge departure from like what they were doing when they were Nazim Spencer Jones. So you listen to it, you're like, what is this summer feel good jam shit that I'm listening to? That's great. Fucking Nazim comes through. He's got the bars, but fucking whatever they were doing, man, it's like some really kind of like just vibey fun times with some rap and singing and guitar, and fucking Spencer is an amazing producer, and I love that kid. Anyway.
Well, mine is definitely not as cool as that.
Okay.
So.
Well, no, yours was Wu-Tang, which is already
No. My goofy weird intro.
Oh,
it was a Pixies song.
Yeah.
So
which one was it?
well, it's just the bass player of the Pixies goes. She's like, this is a song about a superhero named Tony. It's called Tony's Thing, and then it just kicks into the song. And I was, but that's Brooke and I, because that album specifically, I think it might be Surfer Rosa, it might be Bossa Nova, or no, is that what it's called? Bossa Nova? No, fucking A. Brooke and I will throw that on. It's one of our favorite albums to like throw on for like a road trip or whatever. And like whenever that part kicks in, we both just look at each other and we'll just giggle quick, and then we'll just like sing the song. But it's just like, and then another song starts out, got hips like Cinderella.
Jesus.
And I love the Pixies, man. I mean, but now I don't listen to them enough anymore. They were definitely like there's a few albums that are just like they are always on the rotation if we go on like a road trip or like cruise up to Duluth or out of the over to Wisconsin or something. So it's like that, Violent Femmes, which I know I've been talking about all the fucking time. And I mean, Pixies, and then Presidents United States of America, which I don't know if you remember those guys, but they're like
the name,
but they're the ones that do Kitty on my foot and I want to touch it.
Don't know
Kitty
that
on my foot. And then Everybody Wants to Be Naked and Famous. That's like another song everybody knows.
Because it's true. What has been your earliest recollection of happiness?
My earliest recollection of happiness, man, that is a great question, because that's hard to really pinpoint. But I think, like, I go back to maybe not like specifics, but I think of like family get-togethers, so like family reunions, because my mom is one of 11 children, so our family reunions have always been enormous. And her uncles, so like my great uncles, they would be playing banjo, and one of them plays like the fiddle, and then my uncle plays guitar, or two uncles play guitar. So it was like always nice to just like have that, like different family members would like be singing in a group and everything. And I was like tiny little, and I remember that. And then I remember I had a water balloon, and I threw it at like a big cousin of mine, and everybody like cheered. And that was, I guess, so like that's like not super specific, but that's what I like recall for like a, I don't know, specific time of happiness, because my household not great when I was up till the parents split. It was good that happened when it did. But how about yourself? What was your first?
You won't like mine.
Why? That's weird.
No, okay. This involves me punching someone, which again, I'm not a violent person, but
I like that. That's the first thing of happiness.
It's not the first thing, but it's the one where I just remember after it happened, I just felt joy.
Yeah.
And it was only because like this, I was staying at a cousin's house one summer, and just for context, this cousin was very like tattletale, bossy, just talked the most shit, stingy about everything. And it was their house, so I get it.
Right.
When you're that young, it's their house, so I get it. But as a kid, I was like, listen, I feel like I'm doing my best to be respectful of the boundaries and this being your home, but I'm here. Not because I want to be here, because I got left here for the summer, so it'd be really cool if you chill the fuck out.
You go to your cousins for the summer?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow,
I have cousins all over the fucking United States. We just go kick it for sometimes, and it was really cool.
That's awesome though. Give your mom a break.
Yeah, right. No, this cousin, a lovely human being who we've gotten older. We're cool now, but I think when you're younger, I was always very frustrated with them because they just were really unnecessarily stingy.
Well, were they older or younger than you?
They were younger, but not by much, so it didn't matter. So anyway, there was at one point where this is the summer when Sock and Boppers came out. And we got Sock and Boppers, and it was all the fun and all the rage, and we were playing with them. And then at one point, two of them got fucking busted. So we're like, oh, so we're all fighting with them at one point. But when two of them got fucking busted, we only have the two, and like it's fucking weird to all be like trying to punch.
Right.
One person's running around with Sock and Boppers. That sounds like a fucking fun time. It wasn't. So instead of doing the two-handed ones, we all put one we all put one on one hand and we fucking boxed that way. And this motherfucker he just rushed me, started wailing on me, and I got flustered, and I just went in for, like I did with my left hand, which is not my dominant hand.
Right.
But I fucking went in with a right fucking hook and decked him right in the fucking jaw, and he fell down. I was like, "Oh, you stinky motherfucker!" And I was just like, "Oh," and that was what happened. I was like, "Oh no!" And I didn't do it on purpose. That needs to be really. Even as a kid, I was like, I was not trying to do that. But once it happened, he was on the ground. I was like, "Oh boy, why did that feel good?" And then I got home. It's a terrible story. That was a really fucked up story that I told. I would say like a lot of times it's like just going to the fair with my family growing up. That was always the fun.
Hell yeah.
That was the fun thing. We would just play play all the games.
Like the state fair? Would you guys cruise to
we went
the
we went to
big-ass
state fair some like once or twice when I was really really young. But after that, we just went to like regional, like the county fairs or whatever. Like there was the county fair in St. Cloud, the Benton County Fair, but then that same fair would be in a part of North Minneapolis, in a little corner of a spot in a different neighborhood, over by my aunt Vanessa's house, and that was always cool. And I just remember like just that one, and then also summers like walking down to the one of my other memories that makes me smile is when my aunt when I was like 5, maybe a little bit younger, we rented. We checked out How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the movie, from one of the Minneapolis libraries. Whatever ended up happening, that tape got fucking destroyed. I'm 5 years old. Okay,
right.
Years go by. I'm like 8, maybe 9, and we're staying at my aunt's house after summer school, and she's like, "Hey, let's go into the library, get you little monster some fucking books and some so y'all go do some, so y'all can be chill and read and hang out." So we went down there, and I was like, "Holy shit, Animorphs! What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, Animorphs!" So I'm doing the thing. I'm getting ready to start reading them, and I was about to check them out, a few of them. And the lady was like, "Sorry, you can't." I was like, everybody was like, I'm there with my cousins and my sister, and everyone else can check shit out except for me. And she's like, "Yeah, well, we see this thing about you, specifically you, the 8-year-old, did not return a tape or you turned it back in and it was fucked up, so you can't check anything out."
And it was Grinch.
He was Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I started like being like, "Well, that's a fucking bummer. I'm sad now." I'm like, "Oh no, my aunt didn't give a fuck." She's like, "Bitch." That was 3 or 4 years ago, from what I could see on the thing. He is 8 years old. It happened when he was 5. Why is that on his record, not his mom's? She fucking went off on the lady, and the lady was like, "Yeah, you're right." So she took it off, and then she let me check shit out. But it was just like, I was like, I'm not getting books. All of a sudden, getting books is only because my aunt fucking went on this lady at the library, and it was the shit. So
there's a kid, bitch.
Shout out Auntie Vanessa. I hope you're well.
Well, and I think I do remember my earliest time of being like really, really happy. And it's not like anything significantly special, but like, I was going to daycare on the regular just because both my parents were working, and that's what kids do, is go to daycare. But I remember one day, because I would go after like kindergarten or whatever, go to daycare afterwards, and my mom like was there when I got off the bus, so that I could just like go home, and then we went and got ice cream, and I like cried because I was so happy that I didn't have to go to daycare that day. What's the earliest like memory you like? Where did you guys go on a trip when you were like a really little kid? Where do you remember first going when you were a little guy?
Earliest memory, we always were between Minneapolis and Illinois all the time as a kid. So like all of my memories of traveling were almost exclusively between Minneapolis, Wisconsin, and then eventually Illinois.
Yeah.
The earliest trip of me like being on a plane when I was like in 2nd grade, maybe.
You guys took a plane?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's one time I actually flew to Illinois, and I was like, "Why do we do this? This was 45 minutes." My mom was so fucking stressed. I was just like, "Why are we on a plane?" I was like, "Where are we going? We're going to Illinois?"
Right.
That trip that would take 8 hours, like, which is short. 8 hours is not 45 minutes, so I understand like why you wouldn't want to, but also like, Mom, you were more stressed during this trip than you would have used like a fucking plane.
Yeah, because you had to corral all of us to get into our seats. Yeah.
Shit. But one of the earliest memories was us going to Washington D.C. for my sister's dad's family reunion. And I just remember waking up. We took like a early evening flight, landed. I think Washington D.C. is like a 3.5 hour flight from Minnesota.
Okay.
And I just remember landing, just being like, and there was like a whole fucking meal service and all this other shit. And I was like, this food tastes like shit. And the guy next to me keeps farting. Whatever. What is this white sauce on this pasta? Why is there white sauce? What happened? Why does that guy have red? Why the fuck did I draw the fucking short stick? And it was all that shit. Yeah, but it was always that one big trip to Wisconsin DC, to Washington DC, and then it was always to Illinois. One fun thing about all this is like my family, and a lot of people do this and they shouldn't, but people that go out that travel to Illinois or whatever the city's from Illinois, some people say like they're going to Chicago, and sometimes Chicago is catch-all for all of Illinois.
Right.
And what I will tell you right now, as a grown-ass adult, do not do that. Plainview, Illinois is not Chicago.
Right.
And if you say that it is, you get fucking smacked by somebody. Naperville, which is a suburb, is not Chicago.
Naperville?
Yeah,
I've never even heard of that.
It's a little suburb. My family, some aunts live there. But my phone, yeah. So yeah, those are my. How about you?
My grandparents, like my I mean, we lived shortly down the street from my mom's parents, but I never met my dad's dad, but my dad's mom, so my grandma Barb, she was out in Arizona for, the first like 10 years of my life. So that was like the first trip I remember is we'd do road trips down there because my dad hates flying, and we might have flown when I was like tiny baby, because like they brought me there right when I was born to go meet my grandma, but I don't think, or I don't remember what how we got there then, but I just remember doing like a few road trips with both of my parents when I was like really, really little. And like one of the earlier memories I had there was my grandma, Arizona, everybody has a fucking golf cart because there's just golf courses everywhere. That's what old people do, and we would take my dad always, he'd take the golf cart, grab the garbage and bring it to the dumpster. And we cruised down there, he would just have me ride along, and we went down there. He tossed the garbage in the dumpster, and then he turned around and I was gone. And I was like maybe 4 and I like drove off in this thing, and he had to chase me down in the golf course.
Oh no.
And I probably made it like a block or something, because it's in like a circular like housing development type of thing.
Chaos.
You
are chaos.
And I don't know how I turned it around, because he had it like facing the dumpster, but I somehow like did whip to Yui, and I'm driving straight away as it was literally, it had been 20 seconds.
Are you sure that your name is not Loki, the god of mischief?
I could have been him in a past life, or partially, or twice removed cousin or something.
So you're the reincarnation of our Lord and Savior, Loki Laffy's son. What title would you give this chapter in your life?
Oh, I like that. That's a great I don't even know what this chapter of my life. I mean, it's kind of like it's like true stories, like or like finding the truth in myself, or like maybe like the awakening, or I can't even pinpoint like a specific thing, because
But if you were to take like some of the culmination of the things that you're feeling, things that you've discovered over the last couple months and maybe this year about yourself, and you were to throw them all together into like, just even if it's nonsense for a second, what would you name it? The panty Tom Petty. I don't know.
Panty Tom Petty.
No,
is that what you said?
No, it's. I said the panty. Yeah, it's a dumb joke.
Hectic peony baby awareness.
Yeah, hectic peony baby awareness.
Because I've become a little bit more aware,
Yeah.
but I still have anxiety, so it's hectic. Peonies, because Brooke and I planted a bunch of peonies this year, and I've been playing in the garden a bunch, and then baby. I've got a baby, and that's mainly what my life has been around this chapter in my life, you know, like or house. I could toss that in there because or family, or I don't know.
Yeah.
What? How about yourself? What would and that's not even like that original of a. I could have come up with like a better title.
I
for
asked
my
you
chapter.
something like that off the fucking dome.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Okay.
You did good.
Hectic peony baby awareness.
Nice.
What is your what's your chapter title?
Oh man, I guess it'd be called The Great Move.
Oh,
and we'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, but that's a good one because it leaves it to interpretation. So
yeah,
like
but so people who are aware are going to be like, oh yeah, there it is.
if you were to like if you know like how like some I listen to a lot of stand-up comedians on podcasts and whatever, and back in the day in the 90s, like, you know, pre like around the time of like Jerry Seinfeld, Roseanne, everybody was getting, all the stand-up comedians were getting a TV show.
I still have a hard time thinking that Roseanne was a comedian, but keep going.
She was a stand-up. Yeah,
I know she was, but I know her more from her TV show than I do anything else.
Everybody fucking does.
Yeah.
But and she has like what, a pineapple farm or some shit, or soy
I don't
farm.
give a fuck what Roseanne.
She's in Hawaii living the good life.
She's fine.
Yeah. But well, what would your TV show be about? If somebody were to come and offer you a sitcom, you know, back in that era where that's like the epitome of you made it in like that era of like comedy, you know what I mean? Not saying you're a stand-up comedian. I'm just saying if you got a sitcom.
My show would be multi-camera. It would be like New Girl mixed with the Drew Carey Show.
That's a good mix of it, because because you're odd, so or like not that's not like the only thing you are, but you've got an odd side to you, so like that's the Zooey Deschanel and New Girl, and then Drew Carey, you're kind of a goofy cool nerd, you know, like so like, and that's Drew Carey, I think, because he's a little nerdy, but he's really fucking cool. Like he's, I think, the cooler one out of his little crew there.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched that show in forever, and that's where I think that was like Craig Ferguson's first big gig, right before he got the talk show that he had, because he was he was his boss, and
that's right
at the work. Because I always wondered, I knew him from something when I would like watch the interviews that he would do on his late night show, and I was like, where's he from? And then I was like, it clicked. Oh yeah, he was his boss, and then Mimi and all that shit.
Mimi was a fucking monster. I loved her. She was mean for no reason. Sometimes she's like, hey, shitbag. It's like, she wouldn't say shitbag, but it'd basically be like
basically that,
the PG version of shitbag. It's like, I just said hi, and I told you to go fuck yourself. Look at your fucking face, dummy. And it's like, whoa, she's great. I love Mimi.
Well, and I've always wondered, and I don't even think this would be my show, but I've always, there's always a large amount of people in like televisions, in multi-camera sitcoms. There's like a big cast, a bunch of kids, or if it's in an employer, like a job, there's a bunch of employees everywhere. What if you're just like a loner that works from home? that like
that would be my show.
But you're just doing like your thing, and it's just the shit that you think is funny. Like,
I feel like that's so many shows already.
It could be. I mean, it is kind of like Seinfeld, but he has his core group of friends. Like, what if you're just an introvert, like hermit that doesn't do anything, even if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're not seeing any people?
I feel like for the show to be interesting, it has to be that's who you are, and then the rest of the show is you being pulled out of your comfort zone.
That's legit, because I feel like a little bit of chaos, or like getting you to feel a little awkward, or
because I think that's where a lot of those shows get a lot of. I think that's where the magic comes from, or at least whatever the plot part of the story comes from, is like this person who's terribly set in their ways is now being put in a situation where their ways aren't going to work, and they have to fucking adapt. And then in the show is about adapt or die.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, you just want to hang out and play video games, not do anything, but the world is making you do more. Oh, there's the conflict. Oh, honey, you're gonna have to change or die.
Yeah, that'd be just a really depressing show.
No, because that's where the friends come in. Hopefully, like, we haven't seen you in 6 months. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, the full season
Yeah.
of the full first season's going
Yeah,
on, and then finally his friends come over. Where you been, man?
Like we've had this whole adventure going on over here, and I feel like I for the show that I would have, it would be like I said, it'd be a mixture between New Girl and then the Drew Carey show. But it would, I feel like I like bits more than anything. Like, I will live and die for a bit. Like an ex will tell you, like, oh, the bits. Darien will do a bit that would just be like, why? Because it paid off.
Right.
It took 3 minutes. It took 2 years. It took a month. But this bit paid off, and now it's funny. It wasn't funny before, but now it's funny. But I would always try to insert some joke that would be like, it happened once, one episode, and then and you think it's gonna happen second, third, fourth episode, and then it fucking finally lands on the fifth. And when it happens, hopefully the payoff is great. But I feel like it'd be like really underwhelming, and then I don't know. I feel like there are shows that people try to shit on, like How I Met Your Mother.
I love that show when
when
it came out.
I loved it too, but when you're looking back, you're like, fucking How I Met Your Mother. But
the laugh track is a little too much for me.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fucking solid because sometimes it's not even the laugh track that makes it funny. It's like the situation itself, like the slap bet shit.
Right. That was pretty damn good.
I wish that we had a group of friends that were like that fucking committed like that. If Brooke was like the arbiter of the slap, and then everyone else is like, all right, slap master, tell us what the rules are. I would be like, yeah, I live and die by it.
And there's like 3 episodes that were Slapsgiving.
Yeah.
Because for Thanksgiving each
Yes.
year,
And
Marshall would just hold
great.
the slap over Barney's head the whole time.
Like, this shit was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do like some long form funny shit that I just like if the hope, and this is also with the understanding and the hope that the rest of the show is written well enough that people would be like, would have patience for it.
Well, that's the thing is like that show was very well written. Mm-hmm. So like that's when you can get past the laugh track, you know, like Cheers is one of my favorite shows, and
I'm gonna real, this show did not age well at all.
You don't think Cheers aged well?
I think that the first season that I watched over the last year, that is a hot mess.
What did they do?
There's a lot. Whoever the old guys at the very beginning of the show?
The old guy?
Yeah, there's an old guy.
Coach?
Is that
Coach he's in the first 4 seasons, and then he passes away, and they get Woody Harrelson.
R.I.P. Coach.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only know him from one season. I just remember sometimes Coach be saying some shit. I'm like, fuck Coach. Like, that's not okay. I know it's 1987. Fuck, man. I don't know.
No, that was probably like 83 or something, because that shit ended in 94, I think, or something like that.
Well, don't quote me on that.
But that's where Woody Harrelson got his start there.
Nice.
And what's her name? Who's the gal that she did like Pine Sol commercials?
Kirstie Alley?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because I remember her. She's a fucking asshole now. No one likes her.
Is she an asshole?
She's an asshole.
Oh, I mean, I could see that for sure. I mean, her face looks unhappy, so
yeah, leave her face alone. She's an asshole. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what I would do for like if I were to combine 2 shows to make a TV show that would be like how it would feel for me.
You don't have to combine show. Like what would your show be? What do you think it would be?
I mean, I always like some shows just don't age well, like you were saying with Cheers. Because like I loved that 70s show, but that show hasn't aged well just because of someone that's in the cast and things that have happened in his life, and then certain jokes have not aged well. But it's also a thing that takes place in the 70s, so that's an era that was 50 plus years ago, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, I don't think that would be like how I'd want my show to be, because I don't think a father being that big of a douche to everybody is very appealing nowadays.
Hey,
but
so I guess you want like a multi-camera sitcom show where there's a beginning, middle, end.
But like I don't know, shitty people have ruined some of my favorite fucking TV shows as a kid. You know, like I loved the Cosby Show. I'll fucking say it. I grew up on that shit. It was on Nick at Night and whatever. But I'll never watch it again. You know what I'm saying? But like that's one of my favorite families. Or like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That aged well. That's a great, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Uncle Phil, we miss you.
Hell yeah, and Shredder. He's Shredder as well.
Oh fuck.
He did Shredder from TMNT and another cartoon that I can't remember right now.
I think a show for you, I think it would be great. like you going to work as a mail carrier, and you're just trying to do your shit, and you're always just like, every episode is you going from one thing to another, from one house to another, and every time you go, like, it's like a scene's happening, and it begins before you get there, and it ends as soon as you drop the mail. You keep moving on to the next one. So it's like, so here's the first episode. So you walk through, we see you get your shit ready, and you're like, I don't know, give me a 30-second picture of how your morning starts at the office.
Oh, I mean, it's just everybody bitching to each other about the same shit every single day in the line where everybody's just going to clock in.
Yeah.
I've actually talked to mail carriers. It's funny that you mentioned this. I've talked to them about creating a TV show that's like The Office, but it's at the post office, and it's on like HBO or something, because everybody would just be like, well, fuck this shit, but I'll be here tomorrow because I need a paycheck. You know, and that's like what the show basically is, because that's how a lot of the attitude is. And we say some foul ass shit at the post office, man.
I believe it.
It's my two favorite buddies at work are gay, and they always try to do TMI, and it's very hard to weird me out, but they'll give me their whole like sexcapades, and I'm trying to like one up them with some like fake story that I have. But I don't know, it's that type of shit of our banter, just like trying to out weird each other, which is like, you know, we're only together for like an hour in the morning, so it's like, let's get it out.
And then once you so you start out your day. The first 7 minutes of the show is you going and standing in line to get clocked in. And once you're clocked in, like, as is happening, somebody's like farting in front of you. The other person's like, hey man, last night I did real handy. It was fucking weird. Then it got all of my hair. How are you? Oh, I'm good, bud. And then the show starts. You get in your truck, you do your first round. As soon as before you walk up there, this family is getting ready in the morning, and then the wife, she goes to work and she takes the kids, and then the husband goes upstairs, and then you see him. He's going downstairs. He's like, just starts masturbating furiously, and he starts crying in the mirror, and he's just freaking out. And he's like, not again. And then he said, then he goes, then he sits down and he has a conversation with his therapist with BetterHelp, and then it's all happening, and then he's trying to share his stuff with his therapist, and then all this shit's happening, and you feel like he's really getting through, making a breakthrough,
right?
And then you walk up, and then you fucking put the mail in, and then you go into the next house, and then it's the old racist lady who's clearly a fucking.
There's so many of those.
But she's having, but then the whole time, like, you seeing her slow, but then this POC family is moved across the street, and she's like, and they're slowly like wearing her down, and she's been like seeing the error of her ways, and
they're becoming good neighbors.
They're becoming good neighbors slowly over time.
And I have like some weird like part in like getting them to like each other and stuff. Like I continue to deliver the wrong mail to one of their homes, so the other family has to come and like I keep bringing their mail to her, so they have to continue to come to her door, or vice versa.
But so you're not doing it on purpose. It's happening by accident because something happened with the fucking numbers or
right,
whatever.
Right.
So it's a whole thing. So it's not you doing it. It's like, so no. So my thing is like, you are a passive observer of all of this happening. You have no interest. You're just trying to do your job. He's like, oh, hey, everybody come in. I don't care. I want to keep going with my fucking round done. You just keep going, but you're always in the middle of the shit. And then there's the final one. Then whatever the next one would be like, all of a sudden there's clearly a fucking like a fucking what's the word? Like there's like a surveillance. FBI surveillance house happening for some motherfucker across the street. And then you're like, there's a package that's supposed to be there, but that's from the people that lived there beforehand. Right. You're knocking on the door, and you're like, I know you're in there. I can see you. Please come out. I keep having to bring this back. I don't have to send it back. Keep leaving a thing, and it's the whole fucking thing. And then
well, and then like the whole like office thing. I just picture like different carriers just like bitching about different things, and then it shows the customers bitching about different things, because that's like basically what the office is. And like the dude's just like, stop asking me for your fucking check and stop telling me, oh, it's nice weather out. Yeah, is it? Are you sure? And then the next day they're like, I'm sorry, it's got to be raining on you. That sucks. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
no shit. It sucked. You know, your fucking 5-second walk from your car into your office. Now I got to fucking walk outside in it, and they're like, oh, that sucks. That's a bummer. But I love how you really feel. No, I love what I fucking do. Yeah. It's just there's like 3-4 questions that people ask us, like, how are you liking the weather today? I don't know. It's fucking raining outside, dumbass.
Or it's 90 fucking degrees. Go fuck yourself.
But you have that with every single job. I'm not complaining about what I do whatsoever. Like you're going to have, like, if you work retail, like I've worked retail, and people asking you the same dumb questions all the time will get you to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. You know, like it's that same thing that you hear all the time.
Yeah,
it's just
what's your favorite beer? Well, you should pick it for me. I'm like, I don't have your taste buds. I don't want to get you something that you're gonna dislike.
Yep, because then you're gonna piss me off when you go, I don't like this. Like then I'm just
yeah. It's whack.
I don't want you to think that I don't like my job.
I don't think that at all.
I just think it would be funny because like the things that I'm complaining about are literally just things that mail carriers can relate to each other with.
You have a job where it's like there's always some dumb question, always something that from every job that we all have to fucking deal with. Yeah. So you're all good. I feel like anybody who's listening to this right now is feeling like I can also relate to that in some way. Right. It's always something like, hey, how's the day going? Like, if you're a bank teller, like, yeah, so how's your day going? No. You have any plans today? It's like, I'm working here right now. Yep. Don't ask me fun questions. Or when I'm delivering pizzas, they're like, oh, thank you so much for pizza. Like the whole like, oh, it's really cold out there tonight, huh? Especially when it's like, you've made me wait 5 minutes. It's the coldest night of the fucking year. I can't feel my fucking pinky toe.
Yep.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
and like that, like I love when we have like 10 routes open because people have sick calls. I understand people get sick, but we other carriers have to cover that for those other people that don't come in. Like that's how it works. And I love when my customers will be like, you're kind of late today, aren't you? And I'm like, no, it's still today. I got it here.
I was expecting it around 1:50 p.m. You were lucky I even fucking came here.
Yeah, like I got here. It's here. It's already here. And it's not like 10 o'clock,
Yeah, if you have these weird expectations for the Postal Service workers, well, you shut the fuck up.
But that is the thing. Some people are just sitting around all day for that. It's not even a package. Just I needed that one letter that was from a business that I don't even care about,
I agree. And I also I empathize for the most part. I'm also like, you're lucky I even showed up.
Yeah, exactly. D, I'm gonna read us out. Is that cool?
No,
you always do it, so you can interrupt me tonight because I feel bad because I've always just done it. So okay. But thanks for joining us, folks. If you want to submit any questions or topics, head to bit.ly/FFW grab bag. That's bit.ly/FFW grab bag. For more existential humor, remember to rate and subscribe to Food for Worms. That's very important, people, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts in your ear pussies.
What the fuck?
You could. I'm changing it up. You could be.
That's not okay.
You could be anywhere, and you choose to be here, and we appreciate you for joining.
Apparently not. Apparently not, Sam.
As always, check on your strong friends, tell your people you love them, and remember that you can't take any of this with you, so don't be a dick.
It sounds better when you do it, but the ear pussies part was unfortunate.
I had to throw it in there. That was my one and only ear pussy time. Go give somebody a hug, folks. I love you, D.
Make it so hard, Sam, but I love you too. That's not true. That was mean. Oh no,
no! But
I was joking.
I took it as dick hard. You make it so hard, Sam.
I love you too. Jesus fucking Christ. Have a good night, buddy.
Food for Worms podcast is a Kiss Kiss Gang Gang production.
It is recorded and mixed by Sam Sarver.
Executive producers are Darien Washington and Samuel David Sarver.
I don't know why we're talking like this. Theme music is by Muffins by Dresden, the Flamingo.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and hit us up at foodforwormspodcast@gmail.com
for submissions and inquiries.
Or stupid questions.
Yeah, we're getting our lunch money back from our school bullies.
What?